Beautiful early evening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Just off the Milwaukee River downtown. We're a few minutes actually from downtown. Miller Park got the roof open tonight. It's a little warmer than it was yesterday. I have no idea what that game is, but it looks like a lot of fun. The Rockies getting ready to take on the Brewers. Game 2 of 4 here at Miller Park. Yesterday went to the Brewers 7-4. Welcome upstairs, everybody, and along with Jeff Houston, I'm Drew Goodman. You know, this has been a tough stretch for the Colorado Rockies. They're 0-4, by the way, also against Milwaukee. They'll try to get it straight tonight with Tyler Matzek making his 4th big league start, and it's the first time in his young career he's going to see the same team.
Yeah, and this is where it's interesting with the schedule the way it is, because you have two guys matching up that matched up back in Colorado. Of course, Kyle Lohse has a few more starts underneath his belt. You look at his winning percentage, he's 9-2. That's the best in the National League. But it is going to be up to Tyler Matzek to really kind of turn things around tonight in his 4th big league start. Because his first one, he was outstanding against the Braves. 7 strikeouts, 0 walks, and a lot of those strikeouts came on the slider because he was getting ahead with his fastball, working ahead in the count. The last 2 starts, not so much, though. The fastball was elevated. It was getting hit. He had 7 walks and only 2 strikeouts during that time. So that tells you that he's not getting ahead. Guys are sitting on different pitches, and he's going to have to change things tonight.
Well, Tyler Matzek will be ready to go against a lineup that's produced a lot of offense, not only against the Rockies, but all season long. Yesterday, you may recall that Wilin Rosario had to leave the ball game. He had tightness in his lower back. He checked out pretty well this afternoon. He had a smile on his face. You and I were visiting with him. He is available tonight. He's not in the starting lineup. Mike McHenry is. And I'll tell you what, Mac, when he's been in the lineup, has been terrific.
Well, even coming in last night for Wilin, he hits a double down the left field line, so Mac knows what he needs to do. He's been in this role before where sometimes it's an emergency situation. You have to go in late. But he knew coming to the ballpark today that he was going to play, because Walt is of the old school way that if you have to take him out of a game the night before, probably not going to start the next day.
All right, so McHenry will be in that starting lineup. Wilin Rosario, if you needed a bat late in the game, is available. There are a number of Rockies on the mend. We'll get an update on some of those guys when we return with Mark Stout.
one and only Robin Yount. That's, of course, outside Miller Park. Let's get you inside and talk about a couple of Rockies that are almost back from their injuries. Let's start with the lefty Brett Anderson. You remember he broke the index finger on his left hand as pitching hand. That was on April the 15th. Well, today he threw another live BP. He pitched 3 innings, 18 pitches per inning to 3 different batters. And Anderson told me he came out of this with flying colors. He expects to throw again on Sunday and then head to the Springs to be with the Sky Sox, maybe even pitch on July 2nd. Look who else is getting back. Nolan Arenado, 5 weeks to the day where he suffered that mallet fracture in his finger. He finally got into the batter's box for the first time facing a live pitcher in BP. And this guy was happy to report things went well.
It felt great. It was nice to get going a little bit. It was a good sign. Nothing bothered me. So hopefully, we just keep moving on.
The team, of course, leaves Milwaukee on Sunday to go to Washington. The thought is that Nolan Arenado will also head west and not to Washington with the team and be with the Sky Sox to start his rehab. Everybody wants to know when Nolan's coming back. He is that close to coming back after what he did today. By the way, tonight, of course, is Fan Friday here on Root Sports. We want you to tweet us at @RootSports_RM. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk. We'll answer some of your questions about the Rockies and about baseball as this game goes along here in Milwaukee. Game 2 of the 4-game set here at Miller Park about to come your way. First pitch is next on Root Sports.
Is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By Inova Cancer Care, advanced non-surgical treatment of prostate cancer in only 5 sessions. Visit InovaCC.com. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at Southwest.com. Beautiful look at downtown Milwaukee, Lake Michigan in the background. It is a perfect evening for baseball as the Rockies try to take out the Milwaukee Brewers tonight. Charlie Blackmon's going to lead it off as he genuinely does. He's batting .304, 12 home runs, 46 driven in. Here's the rest of Walt Weiss's Southwest batting order. He'll have Drew Stubbs in the 2 spot. Drew swinging the bat well, and Morneau, Tulowitzki, Dickerson, Rutledge, Wheeler's in there again. Michael McHenry doing the catching as we talked about. The first pitch of the ball game fouled straight back, and it's 0-1. Kyle Loesch, a veteran, He's 9-2, trying to become the first 10-game winner in the National League. He's got some competition tonight.
Well, he does, because you look at this offense. They just saw Loesch. He's not an overpowering guy. He sits about 90, 91 miles an hour with the fastball, but he has to live on the corners.
Loesch is an old-time pro. He handles the running game well.
Well,
he pitches around the guys that he needs to pitch around.
Over 340 starts at the major league level. You're going to learn something. He really resurrected his career working under Dave Duncan in St. Louis.
And then he sat out there for a while. Milwaukee finally gave him a call a little more than a year ago. And he's making his 40th start in a Brewers uniform. And he's got a 3.30 ERA in all those starts.
Yeah, and at home it's a 2.23 ERA.
0-2. And this ball is in the air to right field. Ryan Braun is out there. And Blackmon's retired. Let's take a look at some of the numbers on Kyle Loesch. They're presented by Inova Cancer Care, a novel approach to cancer care. Visit InovaCC.com.
Well, that 9-2 record, that's the best winning percentage in the National League. 232 batting average against. That's 10th best in the National League. So there's a lot going on for Kyle Loesch. He won't overpower you with the radar gun, but he has a 4-pitch mix: fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, and he'll vary the speeds on each of those too. So it really almost adds up to 8 pitches that he has.
Drew Stubbs steps up. Drew had a base hit last night. Stubbs in his career just 3 for 17 against Kyle Loesch. The only Rocky to have more at bats against Loesch, that's a strike also, is Tulowitzki, who will bat cleanup tonight.
Sometimes you have to slow Kyle Loesch down, because he'll get the ball, get right back up on the mound. Infielders like it, but if you're at the dish, sometimes it feels like he's rushing you.
And that's deep in the hole. Segura threw out Stubbs from this spot yesterday. Not tonight. Good stretch at first by Reynolds. That was almost an identical ball to what Drew hit last night. Segura got him by, what, 1/8 of a step?
Yeah, at that time last night, the transfer was better. He was able to slow down. Tonight, he has to take the extra step and the jab step to try to get Stubbs. But this is going to hurt. I don't care who you are and how much you practice and stretch. That does not look fun.
Well, unless you're an Olympic caliber gymnast, which I don't know if Mark Reynolds is, but it's an infield hit for Drew Stubbs. And that'll bring up Justin Morneau. Speaking of guys who are swinging the bat. Talked to Drew about this earlier today, and you were a base stealer, Huey. He really likes hitting at the top of the lineup. He goes, at the end of the day, I don't care. I just want to be in the lineup. He said, but it gives you more opportunities to run.
Well, one more extra time each ball game, and that adds up over the course of a season.
This ball off the end of the bat, shallow center, and Carlos Gomez lays out and makes the catch.
Remember last night he misjudged the ball that was hit off of Justin Morneau, where he took the step back. This time he did not.
Yeah, if he takes a false step on this one, obviously it's going to drop.
Well, and he has to reach back across his body, but he really doesn't have time to, hold the ball and hold the glove close as he's hitting the ground. Kyle Loesch with a little fist pump.
2 outs, and that'll bring up Tulo. Mentioned that Tulo has more at bats against Loesch than anybody else in the lineup, and he's had success, hitting .333, including a couple of doubles, a triple, and a home run. I'll tell you something else. I'm looking at Corey Dickerson in the on-deck circle, and as he's getting a fast reputation as a top-flight hitter, with all the injuries to the Rockies, 2 months ago, a guy like Kyle Loesch with traffic, there's not a lot of traffic right now, may have looked and said, you know what, I'm going to pitch around Tulowitzki, go to the kid. folks aren't doing that anymore.
Well, he just remembers what the damage that Corey did at Coors Field against the Brewers and what he did on the homestand. At 520, 13 for 25 with 7 RBIs on the homestand.
Yep, crazy numbers. 2-0 on Tulo.
But that's where it also helps Troy to have somebody like Corey hitting behind him, because he knows, well, they might be trying to pitch around me, but if you put too many guys out there, then it'll be a 3-run deficit. So Troy's going to get some pitches to hit.
Leading all of baseball as he has throughout much of the year in batting average, on base percentage, OPS. 2 balls and a strike on Tulo. And here's the batting race in the National League. And right now, Troy 24 points north of Matt Adams, who had a big series against the Rockies a few days ago. Jonathan Lucroy is tied with Adams now. And last year's MVP, Andrew McCutchen. Let's take a look at the gloves behind Kyle Loesch tonight. It's brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit ResponsibleByNature.com today to learn more. Chris Davis, Carlos Gomez. Gomez has a Gold Glove. Ryan Braun, always been a left fielder once they moved him from third base. This year he's in right field. Ramos Ramirez, Gene Segura, Ricky Weeks, Mark Reynolds, and Jonathan Lucroy. Segura's made 11 errors at shortstop. Ricky Weeks, not great range. 2-2. And that's bounced foul.
That was a 75-mile-an-hour curveball.
I thought that Drew may look to run on that 2-2 delivery. He was not in motion, though.
Well, because Kyle Loesch, and I've had the stopwatch on him, he's varying his times to the plate. So it's hard to get into a rhythm as a base stealer. And that's probably the one thing that pitchers can do to really slow down a base stealer. Vary your times, hold the ball, deliver it quicker so you don't fall into a pattern.
Not going, and Troy got a pitch to hit, and he just missed it. Worked underneath it. Davis in left field has it, and the Rockies are done in their half of the first. Stubbs reached, and he's left at first. Tyler Matzik has completed his warm-up pitches, and he's ready to go. Ricky Weeks has been a bear at home. He's hitting well over 400. Hit a home run on the first pitch he saw last night. Here's the rest of Ron Renicke's Southwest batting order. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And it looks very familiar to last night. Braun will bat second, then Lucroy. Gomez in the middle of that lineup. Aramis Ramirez is red hot. He's hitting .625 against the Rockies. Chris Davis, Mark Reynolds, Gene Segura, and Kyle Loesch. Tyler Matzik will work that fastball between 92 and 95 miles an hour. And by and large, Huey, he's done a very good job with his command. I mean, there was concern with the number of guys he'd walk at times in the minor leagues, but so far that hasn't been a big issue.
No, not where you pile up 5 to 7 in a ball game. But the numbers for Tyler Matzik, 4 start, still getting his feet wet. I mean, both right-handers and left-handers are hitting over 300 against him. But I think he's realized now he's seen enough guys not only throwing for the Rockies but the opposing team, how you have to pitch at the major league level. And you have to be consistent with your fastball, and it has to be down into the zone because his fastball's been left up in the last couple starts. And when you do that, it's an easier place for the hitters to go to. It's an easy swing path.
And all those numbers brought to you by Inova Cancer Care, a novel approach to cancer care. Visit InovaCC.com. Dale Scott's behind home plate, and he indicates strike 1 on Ryan Braun.
Dale's going to give you a loud call, too. I always appreciated that as a hitter. There was no question what it was.
Well, he's good for the battery. That's a good breaking ball. And he's also good for the fans because he's so demonstrative that wherever you're sitting, upper deck, outfield, you can clearly see his call.
He's been around for a number of years. That's why he's the crew chief.
Dan Iasanya's at first, C.B. Buckner at second, Trip Gibson at third. Here's the 0-2, and it's inside.
But already better bite on the slider in the first couple he's thrown now to Braun. And down in the forward strike zone.
Yeah, it's been a journey for Tyler to get here, but he's a former high #1. And he not only wants to stay, he wants to be very successful. He's very focused.
That's the one thing I think young players, whether it be a pitcher or a position player, doesn't matter. When you're not playing that day, observe other players. See how they act, what they do. Call your own game if you're a pitcher. How would I pitch to this guy right now in this situation?
You know, funny you should bring that up. We did a little piece on Nolan Arenado, sat down with him tonight, and I asked him, I said, you know, you want to be out there. Obviously, you always want to be out there. But have you learned anything from standing back and watching? He said, absolutely. He said, I've seen pitcher patterns. He spent a lot of time with the Rockies pitchers on how they work hitters in certain counts and that sort of thing. So to the point you're making, you can observe, and I mean, there's a whole classroom going on out here.
Yeah, and when people talk about, well, this is what you need to do, but you step back and you actually see, oh, yes, I understand what he's talking about now. It makes a big difference.
Braun has laid off a couple of pitchers' pitches, and it's now 3-2. Braun's approach never deviates. He thinks right center field. And he fouls that pitch off. Good fastball.
Well, and that's why he's an active leader among left-handed pitching. A 341 clip.
Well, Ichiro's been a freak, but all those guys on the list, what do they have in common?
All-stars.
They're all among the best players in the game. And that's a great slider. McHenry will work inside, go to first, 2 outs. To God, Jonathan Lucroy coming up. And let's take a look at the Rockies defensively, brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. Corey Dickerson in left field, Drew Stubbs in the middle, and Charlie Blackmon in right. Wheeler again at third. He made an extraordinary defensive play last night. Tulowitzki, Rutledge at second for LeMahieu, Morneau's at first, and McHenry giving Willeen Rosario a night off. Willeen had to come in for Rosario, or excuse me, McHenry had to come in for Rosario last night. If you missed the top of our broadcast, Willeen is okay. He's available tonight, feeling much better. Lower back tightness.
He was back out early today with everybody stretching and batting practice, the whole 9 yards.
Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lucroy. Lucroy went 1 for 3 last week in his matchup with Matzik. We were talking to some people within the Milwaukee organization, and they're thrilled with where Lucroy is. Not only this year, but really what he's become. And they said, to be honest with you, it's surprising how good he has become.
Well, the last 3 years, you think about it for Lucroy, is, to me, he's right below Yadier Molina.
Yeah.
When you're talking about catchers that are two-way players, they can also play defense and put up enough offense where you don't have to hit him 8th or 7th or 8th.
Well, he tied Yadier for the RBI lead among catchers last year at 76. That's a strike, 3 and 2. And also Matt Wieters in the American League. Those 3 guys all drove in 76 from the catcher spot, which was tops in baseball. Two outs, nobody on. And a 3-2 pitch from Matzik.
Ooh. Gomez almost wore that. Well, I say on the on-deck circle, but he's about 15 feet away from the on-deck circle.
Remember Cargo got hit last year?
Well, that was a ricochet off the back wall. He got it. Well, the right-hand corner of your screen. It's a good 15 feet away from the circle. He's trying to get a better eyeball on the pitcher.
Center field, Stubbs waiting. And a very good first inning for Tyler Matzik. A couple fly balls and a punch out. No score as we go to inning number 2 at Miller Park.
Second inning, no score between the Rocks and the Brewers. It is a Fan Friday, so we want you to tweet us at @RootSports_RM, and you can use the hashtag Toyota Talk. Like I said last week, tweet like an adult, and we'll get some tweets on, please. Here's the first one we have, and Zach wants to know, is Willeen Rosario's little brother still in the Rocky system? He is. Jairo, who's only 21, catching for the Tri-City Dust Devils. He's played in 5 games thus far, so hit us up with those tweets as I get it back to Drew and Jeff, guys.
And he was a good big brother, Mark, because when the Rockies were down in Arizona about a month or so ago, you remember he went over, picked up Jairo, brought him over to the ball game.
Well, didn't he catch some bullpens?
He did. That's right. He came over early and helped out in the bullpen. But his big brother went and got him. Here's Corey Dickerson, the 1-0 to Corey, and it's 2-0. You don't see Corey do that much.
It's like 2-0.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's up there hacking. He's not taking too many pitches.
Nothing wrong with that.
And that's on the corner for a strike. So Ron Renicky, did you read his quote in the paper today on Corey Dickerson? He was describing the inning where the Rockies had the bases loaded, and then, of course, Ryan Wheeler hit the home run. And he stopped when he was describing Dickerson. Said, he goes, I don't know how he hit that pitch, but Dickerson singled, and then he went on to finish his description of the inning.
Yeah, because you and I were even laughing about it last night. We stopped it on contact to show it was at the shoulders. And Ron knows.
And we visited with Corey about that today. And he said, I had a feeling he was going to work up because he threw a slider down, and Corey draws a rare walk.
This is 5th walk.
Somebody give him a map.
No, excuse me, it's 18th walk. I was looking at the wrong note. But still, 18 walks is not a whole lot.
Not a ton. So Dickerson with good speed at first base, and here's Josh Rutledge. Well, we were kidding Corey because he now in his big league career has 2 hits in the last week that were about helmet high, and he absolutely scalded him. And he has 2 hits in his big league career on balls that bounced.
Vladimir Guerrero, first name that pops to mind when you think about a bad ball hitter. And I'm not saying Corey's a bad ball hitter, but he can hit pitches that other guys can't.
I don't look at that as a non-compliment. I look at it as quite the opposite. I think that's very complimentary to have the hand-eye coordination to hit pitches. First of all, in the strike zone takes extraordinary ability. How about outside the strike zone? And hit them hard.
Yeah.
Corey takes off, and it was a hit and run, and they're going to cut him down. Good throw from Lucroy. Hit and run, and Rutledge unable to make contact.
The rule of thumb for a base runner is don't get picked off. So you'll shorten your lead because you're expecting the batter to put the ball in play. A slider that was up, easy catch, throw, and tag for Lucroy and Weeks. Whenever I got the hit and run sign, it's like a bunt sign. I always thought that I was going to expect the ball up by my head. And then everything else, if it was down, it was an easier pitch to try to hit.
In the air to center field. And Gomez has it, 2 outs. Who wants tacos? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. Here's Ryan Wheeler. He had a memorable evening last night. With the bases loaded, he sat on a hanging slider, and he belted it, no doubt about it. Yeah, Peralta wanted to throw his glove.
Well, you and I were talking to Ryan today during batting practice and said, hey, did you know you hit that right away? He said, yeah, I thought I did, but then I lost the ball as it was going out there. He goes, I lost it in the backdrop.
Yeah, especially with the roof closed, it's a little hard to see the baseball when it gets up pretty high. And so he looked at Braun. He saw Braun wasn't moving.
Yeah, Braun took 2 steps, and that's when he said, okay, I can break into my trot.
He's 3 for 7 now in his young career with the bases loaded, and he's driven in 10. That's pretty good. 1-2. We asked him the last time he hit a grand slam, and it's kind of an interesting story because last year he was up with the Rockies. He got sent out, and in the first couple of days after being sent back to Colorado Springs, he hit his only other professional grand slam. In fact, according to Ryan, his only other grand slam period, he never hit one prior to that at any level.
I can't believe that.
High school.
A big, strong guy with power like Ryan.
Maybe they just walked him and said, all right, we'll just we'll give up 1 run
like
instead
the
of 4.
Bonds theory.
Yeah. Loesch has got it. He works a 1-2-3 second inning. Middle of 2, no score. second inning. Matzik had a 1-2-3 first inning. Carlos Gomez will lead it off. Let's take a look at, well, actually, we'll do that a little bit later, but this is the time you tweet us your Rockies fan photos using the hashtag #COFanPhoto. I was getting ahead of myself because I already got a sneak peek at our fan photo later on in the ball game. AT&T brings that to us every night. Here's Carlos Gomez with Matzik on the hill. First pitch swinging, and
stay in here.
Hank Morneau's going to have a play. He will, one out.
A little different tonight because the roof is open.
Easier to see, wouldn't you think?
I found it much easier to see when the roof was open. I just think it's lighter, brighter. It's not as dingy.
Well, Big Bob fortunately said tonight the roof will be open. Aramis Ramirez has really hurt the Rockies. Listen, he's hurt a lot of teams throughout his career, 360 home runs, but the Rockies have run into him when he is exceptionally hot. Takes a fastball up high. He hit that first inning 2-run home run against Friedrich last night, 2-0. Time for the Steel T Heating and Air Cool Stat. Never a trip charge for a repair. A $69 value. Steel T, the T stands for trust. Go to steelt.com. Here he is on the all-time home run list, 75 through 78. Todd sitting at 75. The late great Ralph Kiner, a Hall of Famer. Lance Berkman had a wonderful career. Carlos Beltran still going strong. And this ball's hit well to left, but it's going to stay in the ballpark, fortunately.
Sounded like he cracked his bat.
Yeah, it didn't have that barrel sound to it.
Late movement, late cut on the baseball.
We'll bring up another guy who's become very dangerous, Chris Davis. It's about the third week of May. He's tied for the National League lead in home runs with 10. And he's driven in more runs than anybody else over the last 5 weeks with 30.
Well, he got his break last year when Braun was on the suspended list.
And that's down the left field line. Dickerson's going to have to go get it out of the corner. And Chris Davis with a 2-out double.
19th double of the season for Chris Davis. Fastball away from him. He just turned on it. He was looking for something to pull, and he did down into the corner.
Mark Reynolds will take his turn with Davis at second. 1 for 4 last night. He singled on an 0-2 pitch. He had 3 strikeouts prior to that base hit in the 8th inning.
Reynolds 82 strikeouts and 231 at bats.
That's about what he's done in his career, 1 out of every 3 ABs. Good slider.
Backdoor slider. The edge of the forward strike zone at 82 miles an hour.
Well, they wanted to come in with the fastball, and that missed away, and it wasn't as far away as it looked. It's just that Mac was set up inside.
Yeah, when you do that as a pitcher, you're trying to get to that point, but you'll over rotate the right shoulder and let the shoulders fly open too soon. And you leave it way outside on your arm side.
Let's go back to the slider here. 2-1. Yep. Sometimes catchers You don't want to give it away with a runner on second base, but when you have the pancake-like look on the glove, in other words, patting at it, is usually indicative, unless it's a bluff, of a breaking ball.
Usually it's not a bluff on that. And smart base runners will pick that up. It might not be where they would relay the sign to the hitter, but they would anticipate a ball down in the dirt and then advance if it just scooted away far enough.
Late life on that fastball, and Reynolds fouls it back. It's 3-2. See that fog this morning?
Really never burned off, off and on, until real late this afternoon.
Here's the 3-2. And this is popped up right side, Rutledge and Morneau, and it's going to drift over into Morneau's neighborhood. So Matzik gave up the double to Davis, no problem as he gets Reynolds. We'll go to the third, scoreless. Sports is brought to you by the Ford Fusion. Power you want and good looks too. Ford, go further. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Summerfest is going on in Milwaukee right now through the 4th of July. It's the largest outdoor concert in the country. We've had all kinds of big acts. Bruno Mars was here a couple of days ago. I know Luke Bryan's going tomorrow night. It's not just one show. There's several going on. REO Speedwagon tomorrow.
There are 5, 6, 7 stages or something like that throughout the whole
complex
area down there.
And it's right on Lake Michigan. There's McHenry at the plate. Hard ground ball up the middle and a base hit from McHenry. So he continues, when given the opportunity, to impress offensively. He's hit in every one but 3 of his starts.
A double last night. Tonight a single past a diving Gene Segura. When you're playing once, twice a week, I always thought you had to create those at-bats almost like they were pinch hit at-bats, because you don't have time to look for pitches and I'm going to sit on various pitches. You're looking for that first fastball to hit.
He's got a base hit in 10 of his 13 starts. Matzik makes a very good bunt. Reynolds flips to Weeks, 1 out. Couldn't do it any better than the first 2. Base hit, Matzik, Gets the bunt down perfectly. You want to bunt it toward the first baseman. He did that.
That's his first career sacrifice bunt.
And now the Rockies will have a couple of swipes at it to bring McHenry home. First up will be Blackman. He had a fly ball to right field, leading off the ball game. Tonight is his 100th game in the one hole in his career. And this ball in the air to center field. Pretty well hit, but not well enough. 2 outs. Drew Stubbs, who hit a monstrous home run in Denver. He actually home runs in back-to-back days, but he hit one row shy of the concourse. What reminded me of that is tonight in the Angels game, Mike Trout hit a first-inning home run that went 489 feet, which is the longest in baseball this year. What has he not done? This is his 18th home run. Breaking ball, a strike on Stubbs.
He's that rare combination of players. It's fans, ball players alike. They'll stop what they're doing to watch Mike Trout. Whether it's batting practice, he's throwing, catching.
Way inside. See that catch he nearly made a couple nights ago, Huey? He had half his body over the fence.
It reminded me of that play over in Japan where the guy climbed the wall, scaled the wall, and was standing up on the wall as he made the home run catch. Mike Trout was the same way. He missed his by probably, 4 to 6 inches at the most.
And he was like 4 or 5 feet over the wall. I mean, when you talk about the extension of his arm. 1-2 on Stubbs. 2 outs, McHenry at second. Loesch goes up high and strikes out Drew. So McHenry left at second base, and we remain scoreless at Miller Park, middle of 3.
You tweet us at @RootSports_RM. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk. We answer your questions. Steve, look at that. I always do it too difficult, too hard. But Steve tweeted that he went to a Grand Junction Rockies game, Drew and Jeff, and he said they used the DH. What's the deal with that? I know that Grand Junction's on the road at Idaho Falls, then they get back on July 4th against Orem. Does it vary at the levels, and at the rookie level?
Yeah, it does, Mark. Everybody uses the DH, whether they're National League, American League, up until you reach the AA level. And then once you hit AA, then when you're at home on a National League ballpark, the pitchers will hit.
Gene Segura hits it in the air to Corey Dickerson. 1 out. I noticed last night that Max George playing shortstop, batting second for Grand Junction. Didn't have any hits last night, but he got his first pro home run, professional home run earlier in the week. So congrats to Max George out of Regis High School.
It took him a couple games, but it's not unusual for that to happen. He went 5 at bats and then threw 2 hits together in 1 game.
It's quite an adjustment, the level of play, especially as a teenager. And do you remember the nerves you had? You were a college kid. I mean, the nerves your first few weeks playing professionally.
Well, and also for some of these kids, either Grand Junction or Tri-Cities, whether they're coming from high school or college, you have to remember there's been a bunch of guys that have been down an extended spring playing. So they're ready to go. They're amped up. And some of them have been in pro ball a year or 2.
2 balls and a strike on Kyle Loesch, hitting 171. He can handle the bat. Now ball to third, tough play. That's one where you have to take a drop step on, don't you, Huey?
You do, because you don't want to play yourself into a bad hop. And Ryan knew that Kyle Loesch was hitting. He could do that and still make the throw over there. Well, fans, the first 10,000 of the Rockies Padres game on Tuesday, July 8th, will receive a coupon for a $1 hot dog. Get your tickets now for the Hebrew National Dollar Hot Dog Night. First 10,000 fans.
Two gone, Ricky Weeks swung at the first pitch he saw tonight as he did last night. Different result. Last night he got to jog around the bases. Tonight he got to jog back to the dugout. He had a fly ball to Drew Stubbs in center.
With that leadoff home run last night, that gave him 26. The career leader for the Brewers is one Paul Molitor. I think everybody knows about Molly, Hall of Famer. He had 33 in his career.
I was talking to Ricky about that very subject today. Rollins and Jeter ahead of him in terms of leadoff home runs, and somebody had told him that. Listen, I don't care who you are, you get mentioned with a couple of guys that have had those kind of careers. It's pretty neat.
Jeter 29 leadoff home runs. Jimmy Rollins 46. 46.
46. Jimmy Rollins, Philadelphia, it's not hard to cause a stir, and Jimmy was quoted as saying that with the team they had a couple of years ago, they should have won 3 world championships, not just one. 1-2 on Weeks. Bounces up there, 2-2.
See what they decide to throw to Ricky. Always like that. He's just going to go fastball, cut fastball inside.
Good pitch. Wow.
Now, where did that miss? Must have been in.
That was a good looking pitch.
Well, it's set up. Yeah, it was inside on the forward strike zone. It was well received from Michael.
3-2 on Weeks. Fastball, and it's on the ground to Wheeler. Nice job by Ryan Wheeler. One he had to drop step on, one he had to come and get, so he didn't play it into a in-between hop. NL East standings, the Nationals, where the Rockies will go in a couple of days, they're on top by a half game over the Braves. The Marlins are 2 back, even though they're a game under 500. The Phillies, kind of surprising, the Phillies 4.5 back in the East, but they're 6 games under 500. The Mets only 5 back, so 5 teams within 5 games of the top spot in the NL East.
Kind of a rumor too that Bryce Harper might make his return on Monday for the Nationals.
He's been out a long time with that broken thumb. Morneau swings 2-0 and hits a high fly ball to shallow center. That's the 3rd time that Gomez on a Morneau swing has had to come racing in. Yesterday he misjudged one and went as a blue pit, and then he had the layout catch off of Justin in the 1st inning, and right there he had to come sprinting in. 1 out. Tulowitzki's at the plate.
You were talking about the Cubs a moment ago. Did you see the fog? You talk about fog, what they had down in Chicago last night. I mean, they were missing balls when they went up into the air. Denard Span, he just completely lost it.
That's off the bag, which means it's fair down the left field line. Tulowitzki cuts the bag at first. He'll cruise into second with a double. $16 doubles now for Troy.
Right off the bag. Ramos Ramirez was not going to get this anyway, but then it helps when it kicks off the bag, goes up high. Immediately signal a fair ball by Tripp Gibson.
Davis did a good job.
Yeah.
If it gets past him,
well,
then that's when it curls around the wall. That's where you see triples.
And remember, he had problems last night on a ball by Justin Morneau down in that same area, where he booted it around, kicked it, and allowed Justin to get to 3rd.
Up and in on Dickerson. Corey Drew walk his first time up. A robust .354 average for Dickerson. Hitting .377 against righties. Takes a strike.
You're not going to get cheated on the swing.
Never does. Dickerson's got to go in battle mode, and this is where, because he will expand the zone, smart pitchers like Loesch, they may bounce one up there.
Well, and that's what with Loesch too. He can climb the ladder, he can bury it, he can throw it in the other batter's box. It's real hard to determine where it's going to go.
That was a mistake, though.
Yes.
That was a hanger that was saying, hit me all over it.
Yeah, and that's why Jonathan's going out to talk to Kai. That's 2 hanging sliders tonight from Loesch.
And you see Corey's reaction. He's upset he didn't put that in play hard.
Well, because he knows that that might be the best pitch he gets from here on out. Saw the grip from Kyle Loesch prior to that last pitch. He'll start with it as a 2-seam fastball. He works it behind, and that's straight 2-seam, and then he'll change it. We've seen many pitchers where they'll start with a split finger or start with a different grip, and then when they come up, they'll change it to a fastball. He's just the opposite. He starts with it in the fastball grip.
Outside. Well, Troy Tulowitzki with that double a moment ago. It was a milestone extra base hit. It's his 400th extra base hit. 203 doubles, 24 triples, 173 big flies. Strike 3.
He was not expecting that pitch.
That or he thought it was in, which it may have been. He didn't say anything to Dale Scott. Looked like it was in.
But Dale Scott sets up over the inside shoulder all the time of the catcher.
So with 2 outs, Rutledge will try to drive in Tulowitzki. The Rockies had a runner to second with 1 out last inning. Blackman flew out, Stubbs struck out. Game in the top of the 4th been a pitcher's duel. Matzik has allowed just 1 hit. The Rockies have 3 hits off of Loesch. Outfield straight up against Rutledge.
Much straight up on the infield too.
That pitch looked low.
Well,
also.
I seen the reaction of Josh. He thought it was not even close to a strike. With the late movement, it caught the corner and it crossed at the knees.
Tried to go out there again. 2-2.
That's just the smarts and experience of Kyle Loesch. The first one he brought it back to the corner. That last one he cut off the plate to see if you would fish for it.
Slowly hit. This is going to be a problem perhaps for Segura. No play. Safe at first, and it's 1st and 3rd with 2 outs for Wheeler.
Well, Loesch was the only one that would be able to get Josh at his speed. But because he fell more towards first base, he couldn't get it. Segura did all he could, but remember, Josh has above average speed, and you know you're sniffing a hit now. Just hustled the whole way.
Wheeler rolled one up the first base line that was fielded by Loesch. His performance last night, getting back-to-back starts for the first time, is Ryan Wheeler. Hit a home run last year, so last night was his 3rd career home run. And pops this one up. Right center field, Gomez has it. The Rockies again threaten, can't get the big hit though. Middle of 4, we're still scoreless at Miller Park.
Fan Friday at @RootsSports_RM. That's where you tweet us at. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk. Both Julie and Ashley tweeting in, has Nolan Arenado's rehab assignment date been decided yet? I've got good news for you girls. Nolan Arenado, in fact, today, he's on the bench, took a lot of grounders, and took batting practice with the team for the first time in 5 weeks since his injury. And he is due to start a rehab with the Sky Sox next week. Drew, what do you think? He's going to leave after Sunday's game?
He may leave. He may leave tomorrow. Yeah, he may leave tomorrow. But he's on schedule to be participating on Sunday, and that's great news. He was really excited today, and here's out on the field in the cage. Well, first him taking ground balls earlier, and he's been doing that for a couple days, Huey, but he actually hit live in the cage. And what do you think, Jeff, it will take to get his timing back, and in addition to timing, continue to build the strength in the hand?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a week, maybe a week to 10 days, depending on how it feels after a game. Or the big question is, well, two of them. One, when he gets jammed, and when he hits one off the end of the bat. What happens? How does it react? Does it swell up? Any sort of, because batting practice, everything's controlled. But when you get in the game, the extra adrenaline, movement on the ball, all of that.
Yeah, you're not missing the barrel much in BP.
But I did see something today when he was taking ground balls, and somebody, I forget who was hitting in the cage, they hit a hooking line drive to him, and he caught it. That, to me, shows you he's okay, because ground balls, you can gauge where they go in the glove. A hooking line drive to you at third base, you can't put it exactly where you want. So there was no hesitation when he went to catch the ball.
And a strikeout of Ryan Braun by Matzik, and for Tyler, that's his second punch out. Both have been Ryan Braun.
Well, he talked about having to work ahead of hitters. He needed to do a better job of that. Didn't do it in his last two starts. Well, you know what, folks? He's doing it tonight. Getting back to that dominating, hard-biting slider that we saw in the first game against the Atlanta Braves.
There's a little window in there, and I love the fourth strike zone, Jeff. The window that is a weakness for Ryan Braun. I mean, every hitter has a hole.
Some are just bigger than others.
That's right. His is pretty small, but it's on that inner half. Did you see how he filled up that inner half? So he's executing a game plan. When we talk about that, use that term, and a pitching coach, and they put together a game plan, he just executed it with Ryan Braun.
And that's what makes you successful. You talked about it in Braun's first at bat. Where does he like to hit the ball? Right center field. So he's trying to stay inside, but he also likes to pitch away from him because it's an easy pitch to hit that way. But if you start burying back foot sliders and inside to him, then that's not a comfort zone for him. He has to go out of his comfort zone. The key is getting ahead with that pitch.
Lucroy, a fly ball to center his first time. It's 1-1. And Matzik a little high with the slider.
But if Tyler has missed tonight, he's missed down. It hasn't been pitches belt high or above. I like the pace at which he's working. The pace is good.
Well, I think that here's a 3-1. That's base hit to right.
It wasn't a hard hit.
No, it was a jam shot.
A jam shot to right.
So one out. Lucroy is aboard for Carlos Gomez. I was going to say, if pitching coaches throughout an organization, this starts at the lowest levels, could have their way, and it's talked about a lot, but it needs to be fully implemented all the time, is catch the baseball, get on the rubber, get your signal, and then execute the next pitch. The walking around I think it's hurtful to a pitcher typically, and it hurts your defense.
It's detrimental to both sides because the pitcher's taking his time, so that makes the infielders, their mind starts to wander and their reactions aren't as fast. I mean, that should be a mission statement. If you're going to talk about, you know, what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
That would be at the top of my mission statement for pitchers.
I couldn't agree with you more. There's some really successful guys out there that work very quickly. Mark Burley comes to mind. I mean, Kyle Lohse had a lot of success. Kyle Lohse works quickly. You're going to play statistically better defense behind a guy that gets up on the rubber and delivers the baseball. 0-1, and boy, that's a great pitch. McHenry will go and get it. When you see a pop-up that's only about 15 feet high, you know you've gotten in somebody's kitchen.
Well, and with the cleanup hitter. And Gomez I mean, he gets just sawed off. That almost hit 2 or 3 inches above his hands. Well, he's looking at the bat, but when you hit it that bad, it's not going to break.
Now Aramis Ramirez. So one guy, not the one guy, but the way he's swinging it, you got to be real careful with him. Fly ball to pretty deep left field his first time up. Lucroy at first with 2 outs. No score, bottom of inning number 4. Good spot. He's getting that fastball not only downhill, Jeff, but he's working down in the zone with it.
And that's the combination that any pitcher looks for. Can I stay down in the zone, but can I work both sides of the plate?
That hit him.
I think it was on the bounce, though. I mean, after it went off Michael, came back and hit him.
That must have. 2-1.
I mean, not quite the Lucroy kick that we had last night. Hops out of the way.
Yeah, you're right. It hit McHenry first.
Yeah. Not sure it even hit Ramirez.
Change up away.
Don't overthrow it.
And a base hit to right. Lucroy will get to third. That's when you know you're locked in if you're Ramirez. That's a pretty good pitch.
And he didn't overthrow it. He put it in a spot that's the only thing that Ramirez could do with this.
And Ramirez didn't overswing.
Yeah. Most guys would have overswung at the pitch. I mean, that's not even a strike. Top hand has to come off the bat to create greater length to reach the pitch.
So the first opportunity really to score for Milwaukee in this game. First and third, 2 outs. Chris Davis, and Davis has the only other hit for the Brewers. He was a 2-out double in the second to the left field corner. Good location just south of the knees, and it's 1-0 at 93, and that's what he's been averaging, 93.1 on his fastball in his first 3 starts.
His first 3 starts, he's throwing it roughly 65% of the time, with the slider being his next pitch, change up, and just 2 or 3 curveballs.
To left, Dickerson will get there and hold on. Kind of a humpback liner. It started sinking on Corey, and he made the fine catch. So no harm done. Lucroy and Ramirez left on base. Today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Miller Park, good crowd. There's fireworks after the game. Is that right, Jeff? You always know of such things.
Yes, there are. Fireworks here.
That means we're going to make our escape when everybody's watching the fireworks.
Right. Get stuck in the traffic around Miller Park.
Very nice of them to do that for us. Michael McHenry leading things off. He's got a 1-0 count, and that pitch is outside 2-0. McHenry, a sharp single up the middle, and then was sacrificed to second by Tyler Matzik. Unfortunately, the Rockies could not bring him around. It's McHenry, Matzik, and then Blackman. Here's the 2-0, and that touches the corner. And another base hit for Michael McHenry.
Well, for Kyle Loesch, he's made 12 starts against Colorado, 6-3 with a 3.88 ERA. But look at the difference between his first 6 starts and his last 6. I mean, 4.78 ERA drops that down about a run and a half, but the record for the ball club and him in particular has been better. He's given up 30 earned runs in the 69 2/3 innings coming in.
And this ball lined to right, but Braun comes on and makes the catch.
I thought that was dropping.
It looked that way off the bat. So Matzik is retired, 1 out. Well, trying to change some things up, and you can do that, Huey, with Matzik because he can swing it.
Well, he'll try to do that with almost all of his pitchers. He says, well, it's not going to be just the normal sacrifice. I'll let him swing away, or we'll pull it back and do a slug bunt.
Blackman tonight has hit one in the air to right and one to center. Charlie last night 1 for 5. swing from Charlie. That got Lucroy. Well, first 10 games in June for Charlie, he hit just 143. The last 13, he's hit 356, slugged over 500. And that's kind of normal for baseball players.
Anybody. It doesn't matter who you are, you're going to have some ups and downs. Especially when you're playing every single day and not taking days off. You're just be stretches where you don't feel as well at the plate. You feel lost. What am I doing? And then it's just survive during that time till you feel hot again.
I've said this frequently. You take a 300 hitter. He doesn't hit 300 in April, 300 in May, 300 in June, 300. There's going to be a variation in there. And even the great ones are going to have, a rough week, rough 10-day period. Oh, 2. Tell you what, Charlie brings an acute focus to the ballpark every day.
Whether it's in the batter's box or taking fly balls at right, working on his leads at first base.
Very, very focused. He's a fun-loving guy, but he's very serious when he puts that uniform on.
There's a time for fun and games.
Yep.
There's a time for work.
One out, McHenry at first. Justin Morneau getting focused. He's 2 doors down. Drew Stubbs on deck. And pulled right at Reynolds. And they turn it over. Well, a good play by Mark Reynolds on a sharply hit ball by Charlie Blackmon. Bank, the home of free checking, is proud to support the home team. Sign up at efirstbank.com. Tyler Matz has been outstanding. Kyle Loesch, who's got big outs also. The Rockies have touched him for 5 hits. We are scoreless as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Matzik will face 7, 8, 9 in the Milwaukee order. Mark Reynolds, Gene Segura, Kyle Loesch. Reynolds getting a nice applause after that good defensive play, starting the 3-6-3 double play.
That's his 39th start at first base on the season for Mark Reynolds.
He came up with Arizona. He played third. That's not unusual for a guy that plays third to flip over to first. Oftentimes they are brought up playing both spots.
Well, and a power hitting guy to boot.
A rare 2-0 count tonight. That's pitch number 59 from Tyler Matzek.
Yeah, that's being efficient with your pitches. 33 strikes, 26 balls.
Be careful here, 2-0. He challenged him, and Reynolds fouled it straight back. Henry was catching Matzek in AAA. And that slider inside. 3 balls and a strike.
And this counts like 2-0 for Mark Reynolds. He's going to be looking to turn on a pitch.
Well, he did, and he bounced it to third. Wheeler on the move. Accurate over to Morneau, 1 out.
Two plays for Ryan lately where he's had to come get the ball and make it an easier play for himself.
Gene Segura with a fly ball to left, his initial at bat. Tyler Matzek 4 starts ago made his major league debut. The Rockies have tied a major league record. Here in the first half of the season, they've had 4 different starting pitchers. That is a foul ball. Fortunately, that thing that was making a right turn fast. The Rockies tied a major league record. They had 4 different starters make their major league debut in the first half. That's how many injuries Walt Weiss's club has had to deal with. You know, you've had Matzek, you had Flande the other day. You had Eddie Butler, who's obviously only made 1 start. And you have Christian Bergman, who's also hurt right now, made his major league debut. Nice job by Wheeler again. 2 outs. The point of that is that somebody from that group, or a couple of somebodies, needs to step forward and be a guy.
Yes.
And it may be unfair at such a tender age when it comes to experience at the big leagues, but that's what this league is all about.
It's guys surprising you, guys coming up and saying, well, look what he's done, look what he could do. I mean, I just, you look at these numbers of guys, and whoever it is out of that group has to be somebody. Because I think back to the Cardinals, maybe even going back to last year. You know, they had guys step up when other guys got hurt.
I think back to the Rockies,
in
2007.
Yeah.
Ubaldo came up and was a guy. And, you know, out of the bullpen, Franklin Morales did some really good things. And that was on a team that ended up in the World Series.
I mean, anymore, how often are you going to go through a season and only use 5 or 7 started pitchers?
This is a Ryan Wheeler inning. Is he going to be able to throw out Loesch? What a play. Ryan Wheeler. 3 terrific plays. He made a couple early also. That's right. Give him some high fives. He earned them. Great inning for Wheeler.
And Friday at Root Sports _RM. That's where you tweet us. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk. And we have Kent here wanting to know about Brett Anderson. Will he be ready to pitch after the All-Star break? I think there's a chance he might be able to pitch before, although he's going to have to start his rehab assignment next week. Brett Anderson threw today live BP here at Miller Park, and what he did was he simulated 3 innings. He threw 18 pitches per inning. Brett's in the dugout. Came out of that great. He's doing some conditioning, but he'll start his rehab assignment. He could pitch as early as July the 2nd coming up next week. Now, Drew and Jeff, you could talk about how long it's going to take for him to get back into pitching shape, so to speak.
Well, you got to build up arm strength again, and Walt, figures it's not going to be as long as it would be in spring training, to get back up to 95, 100 pitches, but it is a process.
Probably 3 weeks. You may make 3 or 4 starts. You have your 4 days in between starts.
I talked to Brandon Barnes, who hit against him during live BP today. Here's the 2-0 on Stubbs. Outside 3-0 with Morneau on deck. And he said his curveball was nasty. He said his stuff really looked good.
That's where it helps to have feedback from hitters, major league hitters.
And not just, hey, make you feel good. Oh, yeah, you look great.
Yeah,
but legitimately.
Wink, wink.
Right. That's inside. Drew Stubbs draws a leadoff walk here in the 6th inning. So the Rockies have their fastest player on base with Justin Morneau coming up.
Well, join the Rockies on July 27th for Country on the Rocks, presented by Wells Fargo. It's featuring a post-game concert by country music star Sarah Evans. The concert will be free to all fans who have a ticket to the Rockies Pirates game, so get your tickets today for Country on the Rocks, July 27th.
Morneau has twice hit the ball in the air to Gomez in center. Remember last weekend, the Rockies had 5 stolen bases in the first 2 games against the Brewers, and then Loesch shut down their running game on Sunday. And it was with holding the baseball, varying his times to the plate.
Well, he knows how important that is for any pitcher. But you still look for chances to run. You're Drew, as many stolen bases as he has in his career, you get your lead, and if you take off, but that clock in your head tells you the pitcher went too fast, you shut it down. Like right there.
That's lined at Segura, and diving back is Stubbs.
Well, 2 things for Drew Stubbs after the line out from Justin Morneau. The first one was he was thinking about running, but he stopped because how quick Loesch was to the plate. But then also he froze because it was a line drive head high. He didn't get too far off. When the line drive goes to either the shortstop or the third baseman, you should not get doubled off at first base. Second base, it happens sometimes, but not all the way across the diamond.
Yeah, not on the left side. Here's Tulowitzki. He doubled his last time up. And that ball gets away. Stubbs, gauging that it wasn't far enough away, stayed put. Drew got caught stealing yesterday. It was the first time he's been caught all year. And it took a perfect throw from Lucroy. Tulo hits it on the ground slowly to Segura. He's got to go to first with it. And so Stubbs into scoring position with 2 outs for Dickerson. Auto glass issues, trust Safelite. Go online to safelight.com. Give them a call at 303-287-5000.
We'll call him next week when we get home.
You got an issue?
Yeah.
How'd that happen? On your new truck?
No, not on my new car. No.
Your new free truck?
Don't be jealous because you couldn't hit a hole-in-one. No, on one of my kids' cars.
Parked too close to BP?
Looks like it.
Dickerson a walk and was caught looking at a pitch he thought was inside. No score, top of 6. Matzik has been outstanding. Carlos has been pretty good also.
Corey on the season, .425 average with runners in scoring position, 16 RBIs. That's the last at bat for Corey.
Obviously the gold or yellow 7.
That was the
pitch he
strikeout.
took. It was called strike 3. Virtually any kind of hit will score Stubbs. Tried to drop a breaking ball in the outside corner. 1-2.
Now the question becomes for Corey, does he think that they're going to come back inside with the fastball that he struck him out with last time?
He went back to the breaking ball and he struck him out. And the Rockies again will leave a runner in scoring position, middle of 6. Still Bagels up on the scoreboard. The old sausage race. Who do you got, Huey?
What did I tell you last night? Brat.
You got the Brat?
I have the Brat every time.
Well, the Brat ain't going to win.
No.
No. The 3-dog one.
Italian sausage.
The Italian sausage. Didn't the Italian sausage win last night?
Yeah, he won last night, back-to-back nights. That's why I'm still going with the underdog, the Brat.
What a comeback in his career. Was it Randall Simon who took out the Italian sausage, or would he?
Well, I'm not sure if it was the Italian sausage, but yes, he had ceremonies. It was Randall Simon.
I know it was Randall Simon, but what was it? I
don't remember.
It wasn't the Brat. And maybe it was the brat. And let's look at his career mark before and after the assault. Has anybody looked into that?
Yeah.
Stout, that's something
so.
Stout would look into. This is line left center field by Ricky Weeks. And Weeks is going to get a double. That's the first time tonight that the Brewers have the leadoff man on. Just the 4th hit against Tyler Matzik.
The best hit ball against Tyler. From the side, where was this? Oh, it's mid-thigh to Ricky. There's 42 extra base hits from the leadoff spot for the Brewers. That's a league leader. Scooter Gennett is the other leadoff hitter when he's playing.
Well, Weeks is crushing the ball here at Miller Park. Ryan Braun has struck out twice.
Was it over 400 for Weeks at home and below 200 out on the road?
Yep. Fouled off.
I'd pitch Ryan Braun the same way that you have the first 2 at-bats with the strikeouts. Because he's trying to go to right field. He wants to stay inside the baseball. Yes. But if you pitch him in and down, it's hard to do.
Especially given the leadoff double. One strike count on Braun. Weeks brought a .424 average into the ball game at home. That's how he pitched him last time.
Stay there.
Good fastball. Wow.
Braun was trying to say it was catcher interference.
And there was a weird reaction by McHenry.
Dale Scott saying I didn't hear anything or didn't see anything.
Well, you wonder.
But Braun,
he
immediately pointed to McHenry. We'll see if we can see if it. I saw Michael turn around like it hurt.
Now, every once in a while, this should show it.
It was catcher's interference.
Catcher interference. That is not reviewable, though. Renicky came out. He's already gone back. So it's a 2-strike count. Out here would be large. Lucroy's on deck.
Punch him out with the slider, back foot. He tried to go to that area.
Cat and mouse game right now between Matzik and Braun. Lefties are particularly weary of guys with decent speed at second base, swiping thirds. They get that blind spot.
Blind spot. Like that car that's on your back corner, back bumper, you don't know where it is. You have to glance over your shoulder.
You need driver assist.
Yeah, but that's where Troy should help him out, keep him close to the bag. See ya.
Where's that?
That's strike 3.
Where is that?
It's hit the knees at the bottom of the zone. I know he's set up inside, but that's a strike.
That's ridiculous. I mean, that's center cut, too. I mean, that's right there.
You can't miss those pitches. Those are the ones that just haunt you.
2-2. And he's going to get the job done. He's going to move Weeks to third.
But instead of being second base and 1 out, now he's at third base and 1 out. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers and watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices.
That's why little things become big. Now,
yes.
Obviously, Matzik had another opportunity to make a pitch. He got drawn out, but it was a fastball out and away. If Dale Scott rings up, Dale Scott's a good umpire. Listen, guys are going to miss pitches.
You're going to miss, yes.
But if he rings up Braun, now there's 1 out. You still have Weeks at second. The infield's back. You got to pull the infield in here. And Lucroy, who's a terrific hitter, top 3 in the National League.
Well, it just opens up many more holes out in the short outfield. You don't have the reaction time for an infielder.
One for 2. Lucroy singled his last time up. And the guy on deck, not that you want to start creating traffic, but you're thinking, well, if you put him on, pitch around him, you set up a double play. Gomez is not a typical cleanup hitter in that he could fly. This is chopped over the head of Tulowitzki in the center field.
But that's what I was talking about. It creates more holes out there. Infield playing in, you don't have as much range. It doesn't get any more illustrated than that ball from Jonathan Lucroy.
Yeah, it was a good pitch by Matzik.
Yeah.
It was a pitch designed to induce a ground ball. He got a ground ball, but on the hard surface, it bounced into center field.
And look where Troy is. Now, if he's back, he would catch it on the second hop, throw to first. The hard dirt in front of home plate. And Lucroy has an easy RBI. And it goes back to the pitch not being called as strike 3.
Gomez hits it in the air to right field. Blackman will make the play. 2 outs. For Lucroy, that was his 41st RBI. And now Aramis Ramirez will come up. Fly ball left field and a punch single to right. A run on 5 hits for the Brewers. No runs on 5 hits for the Rockies. Last night the Brewers had 12 hits and they hit 3 home runs in a 7-4 victory. That's how good Matzik's been tonight, cooling off a club that has swung it well all year, and in particular against the Rockies. I really like how he's gone about his business, Huey. Here he's working in the 6th inning. I mean, he stared down Braun. He made good pitches. He made a good pitch on Lucroy, the 2nd leading hitter in the National League. He has not walked a batter. And he's ahead now of Ramirez 0-2.
And most of the guys tonight, he has been ahead. 82 pitches, 51 strikes.
Now
and he could have imploded after that pitch was not called the strike to Braun. and then left another pitch up. He hits it out. That's 2 runs, but he got the ground ball, and even the pitch to Lucroy was a good pitch.
He's now pitched 23 big league innings. He's walked just 6. Jim Wright has to be pleased. One more pitch here. 0-2. Lucroy takes off. Doesn't matter. Swung on and missed by Ramirez. Good job of pitching by Matzik. Really a terrific job. And the Rockies are down a run as we go to the 7th inning. Top of the 7th inning, Rutledge will lead it off. It's time for the Steel T Heating and Air Cool Stat. Never a trip charge for a repair, a $69 value. Steel T, the T stands for trust. Go to steelt.com. Look at the Oakland A's. Overall run differential, they're plus 129 or 78 runs ahead of Seattle, and that's surprising. 2 teams in the same division, 3 in fact, if you include the Angels. That's the top 3 teams are all in the AL West. And then Milwaukee is plus 42 along with the Dodgers, who, by the way, I don't know if people notice this, they're just 2 games behind the Giants now.
The Giants know that.
Yeah, the Giants do know that.
You look at the number of wins for Milwaukee. They have 49 wins, but the winning percentage is .605. Oakland winning percentage is .615.
1-1 on Rutledge. I can't tell you how impressed I've been with Matzik tonight. And he was very impressive in his first start against the Atlanta Braves.
We had a graphic up a moment ago of the NL Central. There's 4 teams in the Central Division that are over 500. The only division in baseball that can lay claim to that fact.
If Rutt can get on here against Loesch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rutledge an infield hit in the 4th. Wheeler on deck, then McHenry, who's 2 for 2. And that's ripped toward the gap in left center field. And it's going to be at least a double for Rutledge, who could fly. And he'll shut it down at second. So a leadoff double for Josh Rutledge in a 1-run game.
Well, this was reminiscent of the Ricky Weeks double last half inning. 5th double of the season for Josh.
This was loud.
Yeah, it was. And it was a slider that was flat, and that's been the problem. He's been using it more as Kyle Loesch, but leaving it up, and his ERA each month has creeped up because of it. Now you have to use the same game plan where you have to get him over to third if you're Ryan Wheeler at the end of this at bat. However you do it, He needs to be at third in scoring position with one out.
Come inside now. Lucroy wants to converse with Loesch. The Brewers, a bit more on the success they've had. They've spent a whopping 4 days out of first place all year long. And they began the day 5.5 above the Cardinals in the Central.
Well, Nick Massett is up in the Rockies bullpen because the pitcher spot's a couple doors down. I'd imagine that Brandon Barnes is lurking somewhere down there with the bat and the helmet.
I think in a perfect world, you get some sort of, back-to-back extra base hit. McHenry would, reach. But Matzik could hit and stay in the game and be in a, sacrifice type situation. There's Barnes. And if Walt Weiss takes Matzik out, it's only because they're down that run. We'd like to keep him in as well as he's pitching. It's off the plate. 2-2.
Oohs and ahs from the fans, but that wasn't close.
See if he comes back in.
The spread out. Think about just using your hands.
They do come in.
Heads up. Oh, right below us. I missed it with his glove.
He hasn't had a ball all day. You getting on him?
Well, I'm just saying, you bring your ball or your glove to the park, line drive, and you just don't reach high enough.
In the game, you didn't have any chances all day, and all of a sudden one came your way. It's easy to boot one. Two. Tried to get him to chase. 3-2.
I just felt like this was one of the hardest counts to be in, on a 3-2 count with the runner at second base and nobody out, because you have to get him over, but you'd also take the walk.
How about a base hit? Rutledge read it. He'll get a stop sign from Cole. Davis was very quick to the baseball. Ryan Wheeler makes it first and third, nobody out for Michael McHenry.
Well, it helps to be 6'4" and have that length and leverage to hit it. And Josh read it correctly, but because Chris Davis was charging hard, Stu Cole had to hold him up.
Good decision by Stu. And now McHenry, who has seen the ball seemingly better than anybody else against Loesch tonight. 2 sharp singles.
Think opposite field. Think in the right center field gap.
Off the plate ball 1 on Mack. Matzik for the time being is in the on deck circle. If you get a sac fly here, you can probably keep him in the game.
And then bunt Ryan to second. A reminder, you only have 4 guys on the bench. Shorter bench, extra arm in the pen.
Henry yanks it foul. Max out of Middle Tennessee State. .5'10", 205-pound catcher. Rockies originally drafted him in the 06 draft in the 7th round. One. Good eye. 2-1.
The best case would be for Mack to base hit, drive the run in first and second, and then you could put Tyler up to bunt. I like that scenario.
How about he hits a 3-run jack as long as we're creating scenarios. Matzik hits with the bases. And then Matzik hits one out. We're going to get creative,
Touché.
right? There we go. And imaginative. Here's the 2-1. 2-2.
But get the run and make this at bat count.
Well, Wooten's on the right side. Zach Duke is tossing on the left side. And McHenry slowly hit. And Loesch did a great job fielding his position and eyeballing Rutledge at the same time. So now you're going to lose the opportunity to keep Matzik in the game. Second and third, 1 out. And you have to go to a position player, so Brandon Barnes will pinch hit.
Well, Rutledge had the right read. If he keeps going, that's an easy play for Kyle Loesch to throw home. And even if he were to stop, they get him in a rundown. So Brandon, it'll be up to Barnesy now. 10 for 31 pinch hitting, home run, couple RBIs. Second, tied for second in the National League in pinch hits, trailing only Reed Johnson. Well, fans, while we have a moment here, we can celebrate Independence Day with the Rockies after the Rockies-Dodgers game on July 4th. You can stay for the best fireworks show in town. It's courtesy of Coca-Cola and King Soopers. Tickets are going quickly. Get yours today, and don't miss the fireworks.
So runners at second and third, 1 out. Brandon Barnes pinch hit unsuccessfully last night. We'll take a look at Loesch.
Kind of interesting to see how the Brewers are playing this. I mean, look how far Reynolds is off the line at first base.
And Barnes chases up.
And they're playing the infield in. Not sure I've seen a first baseman over 25, 30 feet off the line like Reynolds is now. This late in the game.
Barnes lifetime 1 for 6 against Loesch. And here's the squeeze. They fake the throw home. Loesch pirouettes again and gets Barnes. The Rockies have tied it up as Barnes gets the bunt down. And it is 1-1 here in the 7th. Boy, that's pretty athletic play by Loesch.
Well, how about
but a great job by Barnes to get that bunt down.
How about the call on an 0-1 pitch for a squeeze? You're putting your faith in Barnes that he can get this down.
Safety
squeeze. That's what it was, a safety squeeze. Hold on for a second. He had the ball in his hand, didn't he?
Let's go back, take a look at it.
Can we go back and look at that for a moment? Okay, he did tag him
with the ball too.
Okay. I just saw the ball in his hand and the glove swinging around.
Blackman 0 for 3. Go ahead run at third. And it's pulled foul. Nice play.
Ewai still has the hands.
Whoa. Wheeler at third. Little things, great execution by Brandon Barnes. Good base running twice by Rutledge. Obviously, he read the bunt down, utilized his speed, but as you described on that swinging bunt by McHenry, he stayed put and didn't run into an out.
Your first reaction is, I want to score, I want to go. And you run yourself into an out and possibly out of it a whole inning. And with the safety squeeze, you have to see the ball down, and that's what he did.
Two one. 3-1. Stubbs on deck. Well, you were a left-handed hitter. You know Loja's arsenal. What are you sitting on here? You sitting dead red 3-1, or are you looking for an off-speed pitch?
Looking more off-speed.
He got the fastball and fouled it back.
Just because I'm looking who's on deck, and it's a right-on-right matchup. With 101 pitches for Loesch. It's about his benchmark. A high for him is 110, but a lot of times going out 90s and 80s. And here comes a changeup.
Think of Barnsley's due.
Well, sometimes you have to change it up. You change up the luck.
Aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Well, I love how he plays. Here's the 3-2. And time called by Blackman. And right now, you know, struggling a little bit at the plate, but he still helped out the club getting that bunt down. He'll find some way to beat you. Gorgeous catch he had the other night.
That's still one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Superman parallel to the ground.
And Loesch strikes out Blackman. The Rockies get the equalizer. Wheeler left at third. It's 1-1 stretch time in Milwaukee on a Friday night. Time for the Cooney Lexus look back. It has been an interesting ball game, well pitched. Kyle Loesch has given up 1 run through 7 innings of play. A couple of walks, 4 strikeouts. The Rockies did have a couple of threats. He's, for the most part, gotten the big outs till last inning when the squeeze brought home the equalizer. Tyler Matzik outstanding tonight. 6 innings, he allowed 1 run on just 5 hits, and he struck out 3 and did not walk a batter. He was pinch hit for by Barnes. Otherwise, he'd still be out there. Rockies down a run, had to go to their bench. And Nick Massett in the 7th inning will take over. He'll face Chris Davis, Mark Reynolds, and Gene Segura.
This is the 4th game for Massett after serving the 3-game suspension.
And this ball's well hit left center field, and it is going to run hop the wall. It's going to be a leadoff double for Davis on the first pitch he sees from Massett.
Well, both doubles that Davis has hit tonight have been on first pitches. He pulled a double down the line. This time he stays through the ball more and hits it into the left center field gap. Short ops the wall. For Davis, that's double number 20.
He's been a factor. It's why Ryan Braun's in right field now. They had to keep his bat in the lineup. Mark Reynolds. And Reynolds, I could see it coming a mile away, didn't you?
Yes.
Wheeler has to honor the power of Reynolds, so he's 15 feet behind the bag. Reynolds knows I just got to move the runner to third in a game tied in the 7th inning, and now Wheeler's going to come in a couple of strides.
Because he also knows they're going to pinch hit for Loesch when that spot comes up.
Shortened up again. 2-0.
For Colorado, Rex Brothers is ready out in the bullpen. He's still firing, but he's been going now.
Well, that's the Jeanette or Overbay show up.
That's really their 2 big guns on the bench. Saw Jeanette last night with a pinch hit home run.
It's 3-0. Outside.
That's his plays right.
Walk. Well, pitcher, yeah. Now that Segura's going to bunt.
Yeah.
And then they'll go to their bench.
Right in the hand of Ron Renicky.
And it really does, because you have Segura, who's, most middle infielders, even if they hit for power, are able at some point in time they've got to be a bat handler.
Yeah, but Segura's also hit leadoff for them.
Right.
So it's a position he's familiar with and comfortable with.
So Nick Massett's created an issue here. 2 on, nobody out for Segura. The day after every Rockies victory, get 40% off your online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com.
Segura will try to lay it down third base. That's what he does.
He's going to take a good play to get him at first. Just did get him. Wheeler.
Boy, Ryan's played some slick third base tonight.
He really has.
Smartly called off Nick Massett. Nick was calling for it. Ryan says, no, I've got to get out of the way. I'll barehand it and make the throw. It will be Lyle Overbay.
They're going to hold Jeanette back, I guess, for ninth inning potentially.
You have two choices. You can either bring in Rex, which I think that's going to be the first choice. Your other one would be to intentionally walk him to get to Ricky Weeks right on right.
So Overbay will pinch hit. And Rex Brothers will be called upon by the Rockies in a 1-1 game in the 7th. Pinch hit. Rex Brothers is on the mound. Here's our AT&T fan photo of the game. Well, look at that. That's a young Todd Helton. These girls must be in their 40s now. That's not right. Boy, get Helton out of there. Two pretty girls. Tweet your photo to #COFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. That's a good-looking shot, one they'll have forever, though.
Yeah, and Rex Brothers thought he was going to be facing Lyle Overbay when he came in. Instead, they flip-flopped it and went to Martin Maldonado, the backup catcher for the right-handed bat.
Maldonado chops it foul. He hit it pretty hard. So Overbay obviously was announced. He's gone.
It does go down as a game played for Lyle Overbay.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Even though he didn't do anything.
Boy, I almost pulled my hammy. I remember walking out to the on-deck circle that day. It just missed from Rex.
We saw Ed Cedar, the third base coach, whisper something to Chris Davis. It's not a bad count if they're thinking about squeezing.
Here he comes. It's on. Ball in the air. Good job, Huey. Smelled that out.
Maldonado gave it away by how long he stared down at third base, and then Cedar going over to Chris Davis, coming down the line. The difference we saw between the safety squeeze last half inning to the regular squeeze this half. And as soon as the pitcher breaks and that foot starts to come forward, that's when the runner takes off on a regular squeeze.
It's a little easier to do against a lefty.
Again, the blind spot.
Fortunately, the ball that Rex delivered was up. 1-2. Rex is hunting a punch out here. Ricky Weeks on deck. Too, isn't it?
I think so.
Where's Maldonado going?
I'm not sure.
He threw me off. I'm looking down. I'm looking up at the board. I'm saying, isn't that?
Yeah, because it was a 1-1 count when he popped it up, and then two pitches. Okay. I mean, he threw down his stuff like, oh, you're afraid to pitch to me, and now I'll go down to first base. Now he's got to put all the arm pad back on, grab his bat again.
That's embarrassing.
That is. They'll punch him out.
And he did. 2 outs. Big strikeout from Brothers.
Oh, the high heat. Climb the ladder. So after you pitch one down, you change the eye level. Got Maldonado to chase.
Ricky Weeks a double to lead off the 6th inning. He has scored the only run for Milwaukee. 1-1, 2 outs in the 7th. Chris Davis at third, Mark Reynolds at second.
Even though that was not a strike, I like the thought. Don't feed him a first pitch fastball. Wonderful block.
Yep, on a slider.
Runners at second and third. You call for a pitch down. You better block it. And that was a hard one because it skips off the plate. You're right out in front of the plate. Where's it going to go? Michael rolling the shoulders and received it softly to drop it there.
Now it's 3-0 with Braun on deck. Walks to load the bases for Braun.
Ryan Braun is 0 for 2 career against Rex. It won't matter. They're going to go to Adam Ottavino.
Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 7th in a 1-1 game. bases loaded, 2 outs. Ottavino will face Ryan Braun. Subaru brings you the manager's challenge. If there's a questionable call, instant replay will be used to determine the outcome. It's brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Ryan Braun tonight has been held quiet by Tyler Matzik. He's 0 for 3. Matzik struck him out twice. Adam Ottavino was the Rockies' best reliever the first couple of months of the season. Has had a tough June. It'll be his 40th appearance in game number 80 for the Rockies.
And that's part of the reason why the numbers are trending upwards.
Ooh. Braun gets hit. That forces in a run.
Fastball just sailed on him. I mean, Braun, all he has to do is turn and wear it for the RBI.
So Lucroy will step up. Lucroy's 2 for 3. He drove in the only other run of the game for Milwaukee last inning with a base hit. He takes a slider for strike 1.
And honestly, I thought that was the pitch he was going to throw to Braun first pitch. Was the slider.
Bounce to third, and getting the bag in time is Wheeler. So Milwaukee takes a 2-1 lead as Ottavino hits Braun. We'll go to the 8th. Stubbs will lead off for the Rockies.
Milwaukee as we go to the 8th, and the Brewers with a 2-1 lead over the Rockies. Going to wrap up our Fan Friday here and give you a few notes. Drew and Jeff were talking about when Randall Simon hit the Italian sausage. Guys, that was July 9th, 2003. Jeff, the Bratwurst won that race that day. So,
thank you. I
just
knew.
so you know.
Thank you, Mark.
I don't know how it's gone since then.
But Mark, you heard my question earlier,
I
right?
can't figure out how the sausage is done since then. He won tonight, right?
He did win tonight.
So,
but I mean, how was he in the initial years after
the rehab and all
mugging?
that took place?
Yeah.
I don't have those stats for you tonight. I can tell you that Brandon Barnes, his mohawk,
Yeah.
Cargo did that on Tuesday. So Cargo's responsible for that.
Cargo is one of the highest paid barbers in the country.
Pretty much. Don't forget to vote for your Rockies for the All-Star game. That ends July 3rd at midnight. And I know that Renee Latchman was walking around in the clubhouse. He calls Justin Morneau Saltchuck for Terry Saltchuck, the famous goalie, because he's Canadian. He's like, Saltchuck needs to be there. So he was yelling that around. And finally, I got one more tweet because everybody tweeted in. What do you guys think of Miller Park here in Milwaukee?
Well, I like Miller Park.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you like it, right?
Yeah. I gave you a potpourri of stuff there. But
well, you know, I tell you, the players really like it. And Huey, you'd appreciate this. If you weren't so old, you would have played here. That the clubhouse, the proximity from the clubhouse to the dugout is the shortest distance of any ballpark in Major League Baseball.
You do like that. It's about 10 steps from the end of the locker room down to the dugout.
Where Jimmy Wright's sitting, he can turn around and be in the locker room quickly if you forgot something. High fly ball off the bat of Stubbs to Gomez, 1 out in the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Morneau or Sawchuck if you prefer. The Hyundai League leaders brought to you by your local Colorado Hyundai dealers. Hits among National League first baseman. Paul Goldschmidt is #1, and then Justin Morneau and Freddie Freeman next on the list.
But for Justin, what he has, though, he has more home runs and more RBIs than Freddie Freeman. Broke it down last night.
Will Smith, in the 8th inning man for the Brewers, is ahead 0-1 on Morneau.
Well, Will had 14 pitches last night.
And he struck out Morneau in the 7th inning last night.
2/3 of an inning. Struck out Morneau and Dickerson.
And that was the pitch he got Morneau on last night.
It's so hard to pick up because the fastball's 95 and then a lower 3/4 slider that starts inside, then breaks 2.5 feet away from a left-handed hitter.
He's going to show it again. And a base hit to center field.
I just like how hard he runs the bases and that big wide turn.
Well, if Gomez got cute in center field, he'd have kept going.
We talk about hand-eye coordination and being able to get to pitches that other guys can't. He was just trying to make contact, and then the wide turn. You know, the further the ball is away from first base, the wider that turn can be. Don't just settle for a single. Make the outfielder stop you.
That looked like a slap shot. Terry Sawchuck didn't have a slap shot.
Did he wear a mask?
A minimal mask. Tulowitzki tonight, a double back in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3, leading baseball at 352. On the ground, hard to short. And that's Rockies done in their half of the 8th. It's 2-1 Milwaukee. to what's next. Tomorrow is an afternoon game, 3 o'clock start here, 2 o'clock back home. That means we're on the air at 1:30 with our pregame show on Root Sports. Jolie Chassin against Matt Garza. That's the matchup tomorrow afternoon. Right now, the Rockies are down a run, bottom of the 8th inning. It's 2-1. Ottavino gets a swing and a miss from Carlos Gomez. 0 for 3 tonight. He was 0 for 4 last night. The difference in this game now, Ottavino came in on the first pitch to Ryan Braun. He hit him with a fastball with the bases loaded, and that forced in the second Milwaukee run.
Well, there was only one hit in that last inning. The double, you had a walk, a hit by pitch, and another walk.
1-2. Tyler Matzik, if you are just jumping on board, pitched terrific baseball tonight. 6 innings, just 1 run, 5 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And he threw only 83 pitches in those 6 innings.
No walks, key.
Huge.
Pitched ahead all night. Good to see.
Oh, it's great to see. I mean, the Rockies have been decimated by injuries, in their rotation, has taken on a lot of water. And they need some people to step forward, and hopefully some young people. And Tyler Matzik making his 4th career start. You'd have to give his first start against Atlanta an A, and tonight you'd give him an A. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Gomez.
Real quick, got a text from our good buddy Thomas Harding. Said Terry Sawchuk was the 3rd guy to wear a mask.
And Hardball would know.
He's a big hockey guy.
He is a big hockey guy.
Thanks, Thomas.
Huge Penguin fan. But either way, the mask they wore back then, not real big.
But the bottom line is, vote for Morneau.
Yeah.
Get out and vote. Tyler Matzik, Christian Friedrich talking things over.
Base hit left field. And now you have to contend with the speed of Carlos Gomez.
Fans, a limited number of July 3rd and 4th rock pile and standing room only tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. through a lottery system at Coors Field. Coors Field main lot will open at 8 a.m. for free parking, line formation, and wristband distribution. You must arrive by 9:30 a.m. to participate in the lottery. Go to Rockies.com for more details.
Aramis Ramirez at the plate. 1 for 3. He had a single in the 4th. And the Rockies, in their first 4 games against the Brewers, are 0-4. The Brewers have scored 35 runs. But tonight the Rockies have kept them at bay.
Yeah, they'd average 8.75 runs per game coming into tonight in those 4 games. Gomez 13 for 15 stealing.
Justin Morneau applying the tag on his former teammate in Minnesota. They were together for a year up there before Gomez was traded down to Milwaukee with J.J. Hardy. And Gomez takes off, pitch out, McHenry's throw. Not going to get him, even with a pitch out.
But where was C.B. Buckner, the second base umpire, because he had to duck to get out of the way of this baseball? Now watch CB when we go back to this replay on this slide by Gomez. Okay, pitch out. The throw.
He fell.
He just slipped getting into position.
Oh, that's what happened to Gomez. His helmet came off, and then he hit his head on the knee of Rutledge.
Looks back.
And remember that Justin Morneau, when he got probably the most severe of his concussions, he was on a play like that, sliding into second and inadvertently taking a knee to the head.
Happened in yesterday's ball game. I forget who it was. Same thing. Went in, took a knee to the head. He had to come out.
14th stolen base for Gomez. Well, we didn't notice this till just now. What is Dale Scott and C.B. Buckner? I don't know if Walt asked for an appeal to see if, or not an appeal, but the Rockies are challenging. Okay, that's what's going on. The Rockies are challenging, we've just been told, that Gomez was safe.
Now, where was the tag in the... Oh, he came off the bag.
And all challenges brought to you by Subaru's Eyesight Challenge. And here's a look again at it.
Okay, so the tag is down, but watch him come off the bag right there. That's what they're saying, that his hands came off the bag and he was airborne as the tag is still being applied to the back.
How many times have we seen that this year where guys fly over the bag?
He's out.
Out at second base.
Brian Jones, phenomenal job down there with the replay in the clubhouse. One more look. Now watch the hands and the body come off the bag. He's on, but now he's off. Right there. So scratch that now. That's 3 caught stealing for Carlos Gomez.
That's a great job by Brian Jones picking that up inside the Rockies clubhouse. As you said, that manager's challenge is brought to you by Subaru's Eyesight Driver Assist Technology, a vigilant safety feature. And out at first is Ramirez.
A fielding clinic for Ryan Wheeler at third base tonight.
Nolan Arenado's will say, dude, you really pick it.
He's been watching him with the bare hand. A swing, and so it has some English on it, but you come and get it. You know that Ramirez is not the fastest runner, so that helps when you look down to pick up the ball. You have the grip and the sidearm throw.
2 outs. Chris Davis against Ottavino. In the 9th inning, the Rockies will see K-Rod. They'll have Dickerson, Rutledge, and Wheeler. The Ford Strike Zone's powered by Ford Cars, big MPG, smart technology, and unsurpassed quality. See what happens when fun meets the road. Ford, go further. Ball and a strike on Chris Davis, who has a pair of doubles tonight. The only time the Rockies retired him, it was a line drive to left and a good play by Corey Dickerson, making a sliding catch to keep Milwaukee off the scoreboard in the 4th.
Let's see how he handles the breaking pitches.
Well, got a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Set him up for a slider here.
Well, and all 3 swings, the 2 doubles and the line out, were fastball swings.
He went. So Ottavino strikes out Davis. We'll go to the 9th inning with Milwaukee leading 2-1. Corey Dickerson will try to begin a rally when we come back. at Southwest.com. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. In Milwaukee, the Rockies are down by a run in the top of the 9th inning. Again, it'll be Dickerson, Rutledge, and Wheeler. But first, we go to Denver. Check in with Jenny Kapnar. Jenny? All right, Jenny, thank you. Spilly, thank you. Francisco Rodriguez, better known as K-Rod, with 330 career saves, tied with John Wetland on the all-time list. Will step to the mound. He's had a great year, Huey.
26 for 28, 26 saves. That leads all of baseball. Had one last night in the ball game. 1 inning, clean, 9 pitches needed for those 3 outs. Not the same guy that he once was as far as velocity goes, but he knows how to pitch. This is his 771st career ball game.
Dickerson tonight, a walk in the 2nd and a couple of strikeouts. That was against Kyle Loesch. Way inside, ball 1.
And for K-Rod, he's 2nd among active pitcher in saves with those 330 that you mentioned. Joe Nathan has 357.
And Dickerson takes a strike. The Rockies have actually out-hit Milwaukee 8-7 tonight. And they've also received a couple of walks. Active save leaders, as Hugh mentioned, Joe Nathan's #1, then Frankie Rodriguez.
A healthy home run cut, but no baseball. Worked underneath it.
He has that violent delivery, which we've always seen. He used to be 95. Now it's violent and it's more 90-91.
But he can still hide it. That's what makes him unique and tough to square up. Calling for the ball down into the dirt. And that's where Jonathan Lucroy wanted the pitch. I mean, he was asking for it there.
And Corey's going to see with 2 strikes breaking balls in the dirt because he's shown that he will swing at those.
The last 2 strikeouts have been curveballs down that have bounced.
Here comes fastball in. And Dickerson pops it up.
It was a shortstop.
That's quite a bit of range for your shortstop. He caught it
that's
near the first base bag almost.
He ran on a dead sprint, calling everybody off. He had to run probably about 90-95 feet to get to this ball, and called off Mark Reynolds and Ricky Weeks.
Who wants tacos? Fans follow at @RootsSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more. 1 out. Rutledge at the plate. Rut's 2 for 3. Had a double his last time up to the left center field gap. And he takes a strike. 1-2.
Still has the 8 to 10 mile an hour variance between his fastball and his slider.
Two on Rutledge, and he stayed off that hard breaking ball. It's 3-2. Wheeler's on deck. High drive, deep left field. Did Rutledge get it? He did.
Yes.
Home run, Josh Rutledge to tie it up. How do you like that? Just his second home run of the year. What a big one that was.
Well, he didn't miss that slider. 84 miles an hour. It was so high, didn't know if it was going to have the distance. He thought he got it. I was just watching Davis go back and back. Ran out of real estate. Go ahead and go back to back with the Jacks.
Just the third blown save this year for K-Rod.
Whatever hope he had of trying to leap and catch it, he ran out of room.
Rutledge single double home run tonight. Rockies, you'd guess, would have Hawkins and somebody else. Matt Belisle warming up. There's Matt. The Rockies can get another run. Obviously, it'll be Hawkins. If it remains tied, it'll be Belisle.
I was just looking out at the Brewers pen to see if they would have anybody going. They don't.
Man, usually not a parachute for the closer. 1-2 on Wheeler. Swing by Ryan.
Let's go back to that home run swing by Josh Rutledge. Slider, he picked it up well and connected on the sweet spot of the bat. Better feeling when a hitter sees that outfielder try to leap and then the ball's going over the wall to tie it up in the ninth.
2-2.
Well, the only reason I thought that the Brewers now might get somebody up is because this next pitch will be number 17 for K-Rod. Quick turnaround tomorrow. If he throws 7 to 8 more pitches this inning, he would be done and not be available tomorrow.
Pitched last night. Strikeout of Wheeler, 2 outs. That'll bring up McHenry. Michael's had a big night. Couple sharp singles, 2 for 3.
Well, Lane's come to the on-deck circle. Tells you his lower back issue that he had last night's okay today.
Two O's in there, 2-1. At the knees.
For the Brewers in the bottom of the ninth.
At the bottom of their order, 7, 8, 9. Reynolds, Segura, and Ron Renicky. Also running a smaller bench. He's got the extra arm down in the bullpen. So like the Rockies, just 4 players on the bench, and he burned 2 and 1 at one plate appearance earlier. He had Lyle Overbay announced and then called him back for Martin Maldonado. So he's got his biggest bat on the bench, Scooter Gennett.
And Herrera, the former Dodger farmhand.
Leon Herrera. 2 outs. 2-2 count on McHenry. This game now on the bullpens. Tip held by Lucroy. The Rockies get to play on because Josh Rutledge hit one over the left field wall against Francisco Rodriguez to tie it at 2. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. The post-game show tonight. Ryan Spilborghs will sit down with former teammate, good friend Troy Tulowitzki to talk all things baseball. And While Tula was in L.A. last week, we got a chance to see how he gives back to his alma mater, Long Beach State. That's all tonight on Rockies Real Time after the ball game. Josh Rutledge, the man of the moment. He hits a game-tying home run off K-Rod. And now Matt Belisle will try to get this thing to extra frames. Mark Reynolds will be first. Rockies made a double switch. Charlie Culberson's in at third. So Charlie, if Matt can get through this inning, will lead things off in the 10th. Reynolds 0 for 2 and a walk tonight.
The last 3 games for Matt has been really, really good. 3 innings, just a couple hits, no runs given up because of that curveball that he's been incorporating more into his repertoire. Just keep throwing it up there, and then he'll go with the fastball. And then it looks harder than what it is, but still 92, 93.
Ball and a strike. Swung on and missed.
Mark 0 for 6 with 3 punch outs against Matty.
Here's the 1-2 slider off the plate. Base hit. That went slider again, but that was left up.
Well, it was hit between short and third because Charlie was guarding the line for no doubles. I'm not saying he would have been able to get to this ball, but his range was more towards the line. The theory is you'll give up the single, don't give up the double. You see the space between Troy and Charlie. If he's in his normal depth, that's 2 strides to his left. He gobbles it up, and it's an out. And Segura was in this spot in the 7th inning, and he laid down a bunt down the third base line. With the runner in first, try to bunt it that way instead of to third.
He gets the bunt down, and the Rockies will still get the out. So Reynolds to second base. He's the winning run potentially. And Scooter Gennett is coming up.
I put him on first to set up the double play.
Absolutely.
And I don't pitch to him. I had took my chances with Ricky Weeks.
Auto glass damage. Call SafeLight if you have an issue with your windshield. 303-287-5000, online at safelight.com.
That's hitting 400 during the month of June. Highest mark in the National League.
Now, he had a pinch home run last night. The day before, he hit a grand slam as a starter.
And they will intentionally walk him.
Got to put him on. Love when the crowd boos in this situation, as if they would do something different if they were in the manager's chair on the other side.
It's the right baseball play. And his run, if you look at it, doesn't matter. He's at first, the winning run's at second base. Somebody get, well, Troy has something in his eye. I'm sorry, I just saw Keith Duggar walk out and Troy run to the bench. This is something, piece of dirt.
got it out of there. So Mark Reynolds at second. 1 out. Matt Belisle will face Ricky Weeks. He'll try to induce a ground ball. Reynolds at second runs decently. Remember a few years back he stole 24 bases. Good numbers, as you see, for Ricky against Matt Belisle.
Yeah, and Ricky's ground into 5 double plays on the season and 123 at bats prior to the game.
Doubled in the 6th inning. Scored the first run for Milwaukee. Here we go. And a good pitch from Matt. Weeks, who's brother Jamal in the Baltimore system, may have just gotten a call back to the big leagues today. I think he was excited about that. Belisle trying to get a ground ball. And it gets away. And now it's second and third.
Now what do? Do you go ahead and walk Weeks?
You walk the bases loaded.
But then you're bringing up Braun.
Then you're bringing up Braun. I mean, you have a choice. Obviously, if you don't, you bring either way. You got to bring the outfield in as well as the infield.
That has to be a pass ball off the glove.
Is that a cross-up?
I don't think so. He just got caught.
Outside on Weeks.
You try to pitch to Weeks, hope you get him out, then walk Braun to set up the force with 2 outs.
Outfield comes way in.
It's not a good position or good spot to be in after that pass ball.
Nope. 2-1 on Ricky Weeks. Leadoff single. And then the sac bunt by Segura. Jeanette was walked. Good pitch. 2-2. And Belisle reached back, got 94 there. Got to make one more pitch here. 2-2. Got him. Beautiful slider by Belisle. Now you can back up and make a decision on Braun. And it's really who you want to face. You do get the benefit if you walk Braun, as you mentioned, Huey, of having an option at every bag.
Wipeout slider. Ricky opened the hips thinking he was getting the fastball. He didn't in the strikeout. Well, Ryan Braun is 5 for 13, a .385 average against Matt.
You know, Lucroy this year has been the more productive offensive player. Lucroy's 1 for 8 against Belisle. Right now, you have, at least initially, McHenry was in a squat as if they were going to pitch to him.
You know, the advantage, and Walt's going to come out to talk about this, and when you have a veteran on the mound like Matt, you can ask him, how do you feel? What do you feel better going up against Braun or Lucroy? I'm not concerned about loading the bases with 2 outs. That's not the issue. It would create a shorter throw for the infielders. If it was that ball that you just barely reached, you could make a shorter throw.
The Rockies will pitch to Braun. 2 outs in a 2-2 game, bottom of the 9th. And Braun wins it. Turned around a high fastball, and the Brewers prevail 3-2 as Reynolds scores. And Milwaukee continues their dominance in 2014 against Colorado. They are now 5-0 against the Rockies this season. Rockies got a very good performance tonight from the young left-hander Tyler Matzik, but in the end, it was Ryan Braun driving in Mark Reynolds on the first pitch he sees from Matt Belisle. It's a high fastball.
Yeah, and they had set up off the plate. You could see the reach back from McHenry. Mislocation by a good 8 to 10 inches. And Ryan Braun made Matt pay.
The winning pitcher is K-Rod, who also gets a blown save. Matt Belisle takes the loss, and the Brewers become the first team in Major League Baseball to hit the 50-win plateau. It's a 6th career walk-off for Braun. The Brewers now 50-32. The Rockies fall to 35-45. 3-2 final. The Brewers win it in the bottom of the 9th inning. We get you to Denver now, and Jenny Cavnar, the Toyota postgame show. Jenny?